I'm going to start with 5 questions, so you raise your hand, and I need someone from the committee to pass the mic around, please. So, really, the part of this is, even if you have a very grand idea, start with something that allows you to actually generate revenue. Think about being self-funded.
Yes.
I wouldn't suggest that the first thing that you do when you think about starting businesses, you need to raise money.
Yeah.
Any entrepreneur, anyone who says they're an entrepreneur but they need to raise money to start a business, that's questionable.
Yes.
If you don't have money to build the thing that you want to build, what is the thing that you can relatively sell?
What you can do today, yeah.
So that it allows you to generate the capital that you need to work
1000%.
Next idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so questions we'll do. When we pick you, please say your name and then straight into the question.
Good day, good afternoon.
How are you?
Good, how are you? My name is Kuratibe Malaka and I'm a BCom General student. I realize that Spaza Eats is very diversified. You have a lot of things going on, and like you said, you are looking into being a bank, being something very big. And along that grand idea, there are a lot of lines, there are a lot of things that you had to invest in, there are a lot of things that you had to do. But what is your determining factor into diversifying and scaling? When do you decide when to scale? Yeah, when do you decide when to scale? Is it the customers, the income? What determines that?
Yeah, I like that question. So with Spaza Eats, we are building a community. And when I listen to Jeff Bezos and others, like Mark Zuckerberg, they only started to monetize WhatsApp now, but we've been on WhatsApp. With Jeff, he said to wait till we had 15 million users. And to build that to that 15 million, it means that you need to be doing different solutions that attract different type of people. Some people can come to this ecosystem for food. Some people can come for e-commerce and cell phones. Some people can come for craftsmanship and fashion. That is not scaling, but it's brand extension. It's producing to show, to cater for different. Now, how do we decide to scale it? When you see it working, you see that, oh, I've got customers who are buying on food, I've got customers who are buying on that. Why not expand this thing beyond one region to Cape Town? I think Cape Town would love the same thing. Why not expand it to Durban, to Limpopo? That is a formulation of scaling, because now you no longer have 10 people or 20 people buying today. You now have 100 to 1,000. And that's what creates that scalability. Now that you have thousands of transactions happening, is this sufficient to maintain your business? You find that the business is, yes, you're making a lot of transactions, but these are 200s, these are 300s. That doesn't pay all your team. Maybe you need to find a way to make enough capital to fund and pay the team, because it's expensive to run. Then you start coming with another solution like a fintech. And you say, because we are already a merchant bank, and we are not, yes, we're making transactions, and yes, we're making a lot of traction, but this traction does not pay our people. Maybe the salary bill is around 200,000. How do we else back it up? That's when you come with the fintech at the back and you start sitting with NetBank and say, can we create a partnership of 5,000 machines? And these 5,000 machines, we expect each machine to make 3,000. So with 1,000 machines, we're expecting to make 3 million a day. All of this thing is coming because of you need to manage your operation. And as you manage your operation, now that you're seeing it working, can this scale to national? And if it's scaling to national, can we run this in Lesotho, Eswatini, in Bukhaburuni? That's why next week I'm in Eswatini. It's part of it. You know what I mean? And it might not hit here the same way you think it should hit, because here it's a developed economy. But when I go to Eswatini, there's no Uber. And in Lesotho, there's no Uber. And we are the only one. Then I talk to the king, talk to the ministers, and I say, why don't we roll this in collaboration? And you need to realize South Africa it's like New York to Africa. So when you go outside, you are like, oh, they are bringing a solution. So I need to leverage that because I'm a continental tech fix. It just makes. So now I'm going out and I'm saying, let's create a partnership, we'll give you this, US government, we will partner with you. That's what creates scale. But I'm not saying that it's how it works. So it's you inside trying to maintain operation.
Next question, please.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
My name is Balasa and I'm a second year student at Regent Business School. There was a question sent in the group and it says, since you say we would probably get better or easier access to funding overseas versus local, so do we as black females starting a business rather look elsewhere than our local government for access to funding?
If you don't want to get tired and be broke for a long time.
Also, if we would like to integrate, partner our business with Spaza Eats, what would be the requirements?
What business is this?
It's a food market.
Food store, like a restaurant?
Yes.
That's easy. You go to Spaza Eats website, or you download Spaza Eats store, and then you register. Today they will call you, accept you. Once they accept you, then you add your menu. That's easy. Yeah.
Next one, please.
Oh, hi.
Hi,
my name is Sishan, and I just recently graduated from Regent Business School.
Yeah.
And I have a company currently that I run, having employed 4 students currently in the room here. So what I wanted to know specifically is, you mentioned something about township economies and a lot of people in the township not seeing the value of the township, essentially. So what I wanted to know is, how can someone who's a founder shift from an environment of scarcity, business-wise, to an environment of abundance where, as you were saying, that 5,000 should no longer be something that you complain about when you're taking out that money? What advice would you give someone who is on that path?
As a human being, you've got 2 or 3, I'm not an expert. Here and now, there's a spiritual version of you, and there's a physical version of you. This physical version of you is the body and this. But you are not the body. You are the spirit. And the spirit version of you, it sees what is there for you before time. And the spirit version of you lives there before the physical lives there. The spiritual version of you, it's at present. The body is on the past. I don't know if I should say it. The body is on the past. What you're experiencing now, you have already seen it in your mind. There's a high chance that you coming here, you graduating, you already saw yourself graduating before you graduated. That's why you kept on going. That's what keeps you going. You have to see yourself, your business there, before you arrive. But now that you are seeing it there, why are you presenting it now as if it will never happen? Because what you are seeing on a spiritual level is what is yet to be. Then present what is yet to be as if it's happening now. And you must live in the gratitude of what is yet to be, as if it's the present, so you can appreciate the present. So whatever you're going through now, not eating today, that is the flesh. That is the flesh. You shouldn't respect the flesh. You being disrespected by your neighbor doesn't mean anything to your spirit. And me, listen, when I was running Spaza Eats 2017, my car was overheating. I've got people passing. And I remember one friend of mine is like, man, I think you should just stop this. That friend of mine, what he makes in a year, I can make it in a day because of transaction. And I mean, I'm supposed to talk like that because I went through. Yes. And you guys can call it mistaken for arrogance, but do you know what it takes to? It's hurtful. So I'm saying that take what is there, what you see, and is yet to be. Appreciate it now and value yourself. Do not look at because you don't have now, and then you look at yourself like that. Appreciate it. Look at yourself like me. Forget the body experience.
Next question, please.
Greetings to you all. My name is Wandi Lesi here. I'd like to thank Mr. Hussein and Regent Business School for bringing such a high caliber of speakers today. My business is basically, the name is Robotic Hover Holdings, so it's basically a high-tech company that uses AI to manipulate and predict analysis on construction sites and mining sites using object detection, whether it's counting bricks or predicting hairline cracks. And I really like that you actually talked about drone technology, because I've also designed a few drones and so forth. But the biggest problem when you're working with technology is the red tapes, access to markets, and the different types of certificates and accreditations you need. As a young black person, we have these ambitions and we want to build these tools and so forth, but technology is very far-fetched for the African context. So how do you then transition from the concept and the ideation and building of tools to actually getting your first transaction where you can start making a ripple effect for the next customer to happen, rather than continuously winning competitions, securing funding? That doesn't necessarily make the business grow. So how do you transition from that stage to actually being a reputable business, especially as a young startup?
Yes, I love that. The interesting thing is I walked all these stages. It's not new. I do not have to remember. I do not have to think about it. So as a young person, they're not going to respect you, presenting yourself to, how is he going to trust our structure? Yeah, it's Regent Business School. How can we trust him to? We don't want falling things. You need to look at that as a weakness and an advantage. A weakness in the sense that, it means I can't get opportunities directly. But an advantage in the sense that I have technology that they don't have. These industries that can get tenders and projects. Go to them, offer your skills. If you can, offer it for free. And say, can I help you, show you what we can do, so you can prove to your client that you can track this, you can track any cracking. Offer this for free. If you offer it for free, shift the mindset from money today. Offer the service for free to the business that is offering the building, that is doing the bid, that has got the contract. That company will appreciate your service. They do not have to pay you, but to you, it's your first client experience. When you present again in 6 months, who have you worked with? No, we've worked with WHBO. We've helped as a subcontractor. We've helped track the bricks. We've helped track the what. Now you are talking with the results, and you're not talking theory. You've worked with WHBO. Yes, we've worked with a civil company. We've helped build a bridge, and what we were doing was tracking whether the bridge was fine. You can say 3-6 clients that you've worked with directly. And yes, you were running it on hunger yourself, but you were building a profile. That profile becomes your advantage, because when you're working with HBO, WHBO, and others, they will tell you the weaknesses and the fails of your technology. They will make you improve it, because they will say, but it's not tracking. Get this, get that. As you're going through that process, whether it's 6 months, do not think money. Do not think money. Think talent, think gifts. And you offer them that. In 6 months' time, when your product is working, you don't have to cry for opportunities. They cry for you. You start attracting instead of chasing.
Yeah. Just to add something, and then you can come in. Owes you anything. No one owes you funding. The government doesn't owe you anything. If you want to build something, go build it. Your color is not a factor anymore. Like, you're going to be black for the rest of your life. That's not going to change.
Yes.
You are going to be whatever color that you are for the rest of your life. No one owes you anything. The government, investors, funding institutions, they do not owe you anything. If you want to go build, you go build. If you have an idea and then you wait for support and you wait for connections from someone, they're not coming. These are not coming. And so you have to think about whatever idea that you do have, go build.
Be resourceful.
Be resourceful, like start where you are. But if you ever have an idea and think, well, we need to get government tenders and we need to, that's not it. No one owes you funding, so don't ever think, well, if we don't have funding, how do we build this thing? No one owes you anything. So
build from scratch, yes. In my years of entrepreneurship, 8 years now, I haven't received anything, zero from government. No tender, no fund, no nothing. And I do not want, okay, with Spaza Eats I want it. With Spaza Eats. we want that partnership. Yeah.
Hi, Talifhani.
Yes.
Sam. Great to be in front of you again. My name is Tanya Arp. I'm actually from Eswatini.
Oh.
So I want to wish
I'm
you
there next week with
good luck
yeah.
with that conversation with the king. I am an entrepreneur. I have been since I was probably 10. I used to sell BMX rides from my house for one Emanamini. And I want to ask because I've got a fashion brand, Aram Lily. We've showcased in New York Fashion Week. I have a Borna Recruitment Solutions company. It says it for itself. And then many other small bits and pieces, right? So my question is it a weakness? And unlike the ladies and gentlemen here, I never went to business school.
Yeah.
So maybe I can cut their time short to not start too many things at the same time. Is it a weakness? You know, do you need to make something successful first, one at a time? Or is the dream really as big as you want it to?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Love. And to simplify it for you, we are multi-talented and multi-gifted. But where we start, we do not always have resources, if that makes sense. Yourself, you are the resource. And if you start 3 businesses and you divide yourself as a resource, you are now providing 33% of yourself. You might not hit, because it's like a plane takeoff. For you to hit, your speed has to be powerful. You need to have so much speed that you are able to take off. So your speed, when you're running 3 entities, will be divided, and it might mean that the force is not as strong. We might not get to know what you're doing. You might be doing this for 5 years and nobody knows about it. There are probably people who have been doing this Spaza thing similar. They are just not visible because they're not. What your strength is that you already have enough full force to build one. You already have enough table to focus on one and take it off. But that one has to be aligned with your gift. If it's aligned with your gift, it's not a job, it's a lifestyle. So you won't run. When it's not aligned with your gift, it's an action. You are acting, and one day you will get out of the act. You will run out of energy. That's when you see people starting a business because of money, and then they stop. They start this one, and then they stop. Then they say, "No, now I do what I'm interested in. What gives me peace? What makes me whole?" They are saying that now they are doing what is aligned to who they are, because it's a lifestyle. So out of all those businesses, which one aligns to your talents? Which one comes easy without you working, and it's painful, but you can still do it tomorrow without any? That's where you start, so that you can release the force to kickstart one. And as that one start paying you, you start saving, investing, reinvesting, 2-3 years. That might not be sustainable because it's working on you being a force. And it's working on you being a force, it means you need to keep working. Now you need to diversify your talent and skills. Now it's not just the skills and talent, it's with the resources. Now that you've got resources, you can put a little bit here. That's what we are doing. Yeah. That's what it is.
The other thing is don't move around ideas too quickly, right? I think people will start something, and then 2 weeks later,
yes,
you're onto something. I mean,
yes,
you have stayed in a bad relationship for more than a year.
Ha! And you couldn't say anywhere out, but you stayed.
You stayed. But in your business, like 2 weeks, 1 month, and then
you already. Yes. So also, it's not about making money. I don't know. It's not about making money. It's about solving the problem. And if that problem starts solving and saving so many people, it should be making money is a byproduct of the solve. So for us, for example, the idea is to make deliveries happen. It's to make you access fast food. It's to help you access nice beauty products for your hair. You know, it's to help you access the stores. And as that happens and scales, that's when the money becomes a byproduct.
Maybe 2 more questions. 2 more questions. Yeah, just please get straight to the questions so that we can manage our time.
Okay, I don't think it's on. Oh, my name is Attendees. So I had a question. So after failing multiple times in the type of business venture that I would like to enter, how do I keep going? And like in a business, in an industry where there are like very high barriers to enter, such as like fashion and clothing, since like the textile industry in South Africa isn't very developed, like how do I keep going, and like how would I scale up my products in a domestic market?
Yes. What fashion product are you selling?
So first part, connect with her after the session. I think that would be great.
Yes, maybe collaborate. Second part is that you can't be selling Zulu attires in a Zulu economy because they already have it. It's not special, supply and demand. Supply what is highly demanded but less supplied. I would take the Zulu attire to the Eswatini, to Botswana, to New York. Yes, I understand you can't go there now, but I would find a way to use digital to sell to people who need it but they don't want it, if that makes sense. If, like, for example, when I look at my house and they're doing well outside in New York and others, they're doing well there because that's where we need this type of look, you know, than here. So always think of supply and demand when you are pushing your product, in the sense that if you supply it where it's overly supplied, the price is low and it's not highly demanded and respected, and you run out of petrol.
Good afternoon. My name is Terry. So I run a startup called Supertask. It is basically an online business directory, a similar marketplace concept, but more specifically focused on the services industry. So I started this business about 2.5 years ago while I was still in school. Got a bit of funding from the university to start it off.
Nice.
And I just want to ask specifically towards Spaza Eats. So the issues that I faced in the past 2 years was that I was getting traction, we were getting attention from social media, vendors were interested to join the platform, but then I realized there's a bigger issue in terms of the quality of the vendors that were actually onboarding, and as much as you may try vet out to get better quality vendors on the platform, it also affects your growth to a certain extent, right? So I wanted to ask basically from a Spaza Eats perspective, how has that adoption been in terms of, because if you are a marketplace at the end of the day, you're serving two kinds of communities, from the vendors to the customers.
Yes.
How have you managed to keep those relationships kind of efficient, where you can keep both parties happy?
Yes.
I think that's the main...
And get the other vendors to host the quality vendors to come in.
And get the quality vendors to come in, because you might get a quality vendor, but they only quality for like a month, and then there's some issues that do affect the business, such as maybe technological issues. Like they don't have data.
Yes.
They're not answering calls, and essentially it just basically makes your platform look like a platform of low quality vendors.
Yes. So and the people will make you realize that even if it's not.
Yeah. So how have you managed to do that on a Spaza Eats?
Let me tell you, and I love what you're saying because we went through this. You are dealing with humans, and humans believe by sight, that dimension. And you need to be okay with. So on Spaza Eats, we understood that our two type of partners here is customers and merchants. Then and drivers, 3 ways actually. Because we needed to onboard drivers, and onboard merchants, and onboard customers. So we divided the stories and the communication. The story for customers is not about, hey, our system is working. It's about experience. It's about, have you tested Mosaic's kitchen? Have you seen what Mosaic is selling? Have you seen Kota King? Have you seen what Food by K is doing? And then we collaborate with the existing merchants to create that experience. With the merchant, we had 2 models. One is digital, second one is activation on the ground. And some of the activations, I was also involved. Like I had to remove your suit and be on the ground and wear Timberlands and start doing activation and educating merchant by merchant how this thing works. But as we were doing that, we knew that there are merchants who are not going to build our name. They just come in and wait for miracle. But there's also merchants who have digital presence, like Food by K, Kota King. That's when you go to Spaza Eats, you see more of them. Why? Because they become our influencers. When we see those guys who are merchants that have got influence for us, for Bakes with Kitchen, we collaborated with them more and create collaborative content. Because when another merchant sees me with, let's say now you see me with DJ's Boo talking musics. If you're selling content and you are not in this platform, you feel bad. You're like, oh, I need to register on this thing. Maybe he will also come to me. That's attraction. Then on buy guys are not online and they're not interested, they want money. All they need, buy guys, is that How many orders can I deliver today? Maybe Mr. D will give me 15 orders. Maybe Uber Eats will give me 20 orders. Can I get another platform that gives me more so I make a little bit more? So we went on the ground activations. We did ground work. And we also talked to the guys who were on our platform. And we said, if you know more drivers, talk to them. Then we went to Bitvest. Then we said, can we collaborate on a uniform? That's when you see thousands of uniforms being given to us. When they gave us uniforms, we gave the uniform for free. Boots. There was a time where we had drivers every minute coming to our office. Now, think of, you were chasing drivers. Now the drivers are coming to you. That's how we onboarded as many drivers. Because they needed a uniform. They needed to be safe. And as you do that now, you're adding more drivers. So now you are saving all your things. But you remember that your customers' retention and buying, it needs to keep going. You need to get to 1 million users. And that is slow if you are pushing only digital. Or if you are pushing only, now we were given a marketing campaign with DSTV and we shot the advert and stuff. I thought maybe TV would do justice, but TV and traditional media is no longer powerful. So the new model is, how do we collaborate with local influencers who've got digital presence to increase reach? Because this Spaza Eats is not yet increasing our orders on a daily basis. So now we are looking at how do we collaborate with influencers, merchants, influencers, and individual influencers. The individuals is people with star. What's that girl from Cape Town we partner with? The Cape Town girl. Zuki Lamani and others. You bring them on. They don't have to be necessarily on food, but when you see them ordering, you like them. And then when it comes to merchant, you see us doing collaboration with Mzek's and DJ's Boo. And if you go to our Spaza Eats page, you'll see that we've got a collaborative brand. People were buying, a lot of people were buying on DJ's Boo's food, Mzek's Kitchen. And when they are buying the food, you know what we did, the genius thing? Is that we said that they don't want me to give you answers. Okay, so with Mzek's Kitchen, we sat down with DJ's Boo, we said, obviously Uber and Mr. D might do more orders than us here. But we want to build a long-term relationship because your store looks like Spaza Eats. What I would love to see is us doing disruptives. And then he says, what do you think? I said, how about we brand all your menu from your platter to your what? So whoever buys a meal, every meal is branded Spaza Eats. Now, the guys are buying platters on Uber, they're buying on Mr. Every meal, when you open it, it comes with the Spaza Eats brand, sponsored by Spaza Eats. So, if you tell me DJ's Boo's customers, 500 customers that bought from, all those 500 customers now know Spaza Eats. It's brand power from the ground. And I'm not saying that we are doing well, but I'm saying you are claiming your presence. You keep claiming your presence, and you might not hit at once, but keep doing it.
I've got a question from one of the students of the group. There's a free advert for them. They call themselves the Food Musketeer.
Okay.
So I think it's in your line.
Yes.
Yeah. So the question is, how would we integrate or partner our business with Spaza Eats, and what would be the requirements?
Yes. So the platform is free. Free. No charges. What you need to do is to download Spaza Eats store app, or go to www.spazaeats.co.za. Add your restaurant. When you add your restaurant today, one of our agents will approve your store and then call you to say add your menu. That will be it. Once you start adding your menu, your store is live today. This is as easy as it can happen within 30 minutes. I just can't do it now because I'm everywhere, but I can also help you now. Go in, approve your thing, you are live. It's as easy as that. Download Spaza Eats store and register your restaurant under Spaza Eats because it's food. And then once you register, our team I'll call you to ask you questions. If they don't, it's because they already seeing it that is existing. Then they will approve you. After you are approved, log in. When you log in, now you log in with the Spaza Eats store app. When you log in, you add your menu. And then you go live. You set your time, or I will open this door between this time and this time. Then you are live. You start making money from today.
Thank you so much. I think we must make some time to have a podcast with this man. We must make arrangements for us here. There's a lot for him to unpack. Thank you everyone for joining us. Our next session, I think, is going to be on the 22nd of May. And the title of that particular, it's going to be very practical. So it's going to be called How to Launch a Startup for Free. And I have an expert that's going to be coming to talk about this. If you want to build something, please attend this session. You often say, you need funding, you need this and this, but with the advent of the current tools we have now, it's relatively easy to launch a startup. And that particular session, if you are here, please do attend it. And then just one more thing from me. If you have an idea, just go build. We can have these conversations many a times. Ultimately, you get to wake up and go do the work. So go build. Please give yourselves a round of applause and thank you so much.
If I may, just a special thanks to everybody. I'm going to get you an office here. It's the second time you've been with us, but thank you for honoring us once again. I think if people take the time to listen to your message, the spiritual one as well as the practical one, I think there's definitely a meeting there to help you out. To Sam and Startup Grind, thank you. There's a new partnership we've established with Startup Grind in Johannesburg and in Durban, and we want to take that further. We want you to tell us how to make things more practical. So the next session that we have with Bashir Piri is how to launch a startup for free. And that's what we want to try and get you guys.